What's up, guys? Video29 back with you again, and it is time for round 10 of the GBA tournament. And I am, of course, not alone. I am joined once again by AdamTheBeesKnees. Say hello, sir.
What's up?
Anyway, we're going to kick into the first battle, one that Adam has dubbed the Battle of the Losers, because it is John of the Florida Talonflames up against Will of the Relatively Superiors. Adam is going to crack into this one for us in 3, 2, 1.
So, the weakness policy versus the Infernape. He doubles into your mom as he goes for the fake out. Nice prediction by good old John. Infernape, they just exchange hazards, kind of, while Bisharp comes. However, John manages to get the double spikes up. He tanks the knockoff, and of course, the red card gets knocked off before it's activated, and the Bisharp gets burned, which is a common theme in this GBA. And Bisharp's attack just keeps getting worse and worse, as you can see. So I don't know why Will decided to save the Bisharp. So he's just going to go for the rapid spin, and I assume the Zapdos is going to go for the Depog. So now all the hazards is gone. So You're a Squid now returns to the battlefield. Will decide to try to sax off the Bisharp. Unfortunately, it doesn't die yet. So John's just going to make the cheekiest of all plays and kill it with Burn. So Pinsir is here. And at this point, he's just going to... He doesn't set up. He goes for the return. I think the better play would have been setting up. But close combat blows back the Tyranitar. That's why you run close combat on Pinsir, kids. Out to Dragonite, who can clearly eat up one hit at least. Slowbro tanks it, and the Rocky Helmet plus Sand comes through, destroys that multi-scale. Out to the Sylveon, who gets paralyzed. This is like my Slowbro. So he's gonna go for the switch into the Zapdos. I don't know why. Sylveon can eat anything Zapdos has. So, Zoruk has yet to make an appearance, actually. So, John gets paralyzed because he's a scrub. Back to the Infernape as John heals himself. He's just going to fire off the clean fake out while John uses the scrubby tactic of Protect. Protect's not bad, actually, you know? He gets up his rocks again and goes for the Mach Punch for some reason. If he was sashed, I thought he might as well go for the offensive move, but I don't know what goes through Will's mind. So he endeavors, which is kind of cool. He predicts the Protect and goes into the Pinsir. So he's just going to fire off a return. Out to the Hitmon top, which is clearly the Zoruk at this point. So he's going to sack off the Infernape. It's done its job. It's endeavored. Back out into the Slowbro. I guess John is choiced. And here comes Hitmontop round 2. Unfortunately, this is the real one. Gets Paralysis and Psychic. I don't know why he doesn't run Psyshock, but he kills it with a Psychic. Out comes the Illuminati, confirmed. So into the Zapdos to take the Night Days. I assume it's specially defensive Zapdos paired with Slowbro. He's just going to kill it with the Thunderbolt. So it's not looking too good for John here, ladies and gentlemen. So Dragonite comes back and it gets blown back by the HP Ice. And now the sad Hitmontop is left, but John just quits. So
yeah. Didn't go too well for John, but Will picks up a really solid victory there. We're going to move on to the next battle. Alright, guys, we are back with the second match of this round. It was a battle of the heavyweights. We have Jack of the Maryland Mienshaus up against Frank of the San Francisco Volcaronas. Let's get this bad boy going.
And this determines if Jack ties with me or gets second place.
So this is huge for Jack. He really needs to win this one. So you turn out to Gudra, pretty solid. As Diancie comes out and takes a clean amount from her power whip. It's pretty good damage for Diancie to take. As he's going to now go out to Donphan. As he predicts this, it goes to Venusaur. So a lot of really good switches going on, but unfortunately for Frank now, he gets with Toxic though, which is nice, predicting Gudra to come in. As then he just has a Sludge Bomb, which is kind of a bad play. because now Jack can just get off the detail. Out to Dugtrio, though, which is terrible for Jack, as Dugtrio, though, decides to switch out to Magnezone, predicting Goodra to want to go for like an Ice move or a Dragon move, so then he can get more Toxic damage off. But Goodra turns out to be faster than Magnezone, and blows back the Magnezone, which was kind of a good Pokemon for Frank to have, especially to trap that Skarmory. Unfortunately, that's not going to happen, as Focus Blast is going to miss on the Empoleon, so nice work there. Misses again, Toxic fires off.
Look at Bird's Dash coming through.
Yep. Then the Focus Blast will connect, but on a Slowbro, so it's going to do absolutely nothing to this Slowbro. Jack can go for the U-turn. Slowking, is going to eat that up. He's going to go out to the Mew. I'm going to fire off a Scald, get the burn on the Mew, and it's synchronized. So that's kind of good, I guess, more for Frank that the burn happened, because it means that he can't get Toxic or whatnot. Rocks go up with Moo. Out comes Empoleon, though, which could defog them away. Gets Willowed, as Empoleon does just go for the defog. Not playing around any games here. Do you think this is a game? Anyway, doubles out to Diancie as the rocks are about to go back up. Unfortunately, Frank did not Mega Evolve, so that didn't work out as well as he was hoping. As he's going to switch back out to Donphan at this point. As Diancie reveals that it has a Heal Bell and is not Mega. That's what I just realized. Sorry, I'm dumb. It's early in the morning. Donphan's going to fire off an EQ. Venusaur is just in right now. As it goes into, goddammit, Vertigo. As it goes into Empoleon, and now it's going inside. It goes to the Taunt first to prevent the defog. Then doubles back into Mew. As the Scald connects, though, and Mew's now in a pretty bad spot right now. Pretty weakened, can't really do too much. Decides to go for the knockoff on Empoleon to sack off the Mew, because it can't really do much else. As the Mew now will go down, but that means he goes into Manectric. Decides to stay in with Empoleon, which was pretty ballsy, as he can eat up that hit, though. And ends up firing off a Scald onto the Tornadus, which is pretty good, because now he won't be able to fully heal himself back up. As he connects with this Focus Blast this time, Frank was kind of hoping for the miss. Doesn't happen this time, as now he's going to go out to Diancie. Jack decides to hard switch back out to Donphan, as now Diancie's going to get up his own rocks and double into Venusaur, predicting the Donphan to want to EQ here, but Donphan decides to Rapid Spin, which is really smart from Frank, as Venusaur Leech Seeds the Tornadus, which is great, but he's really running out of good switch-ins to Tornadus, especially since it's about to probably U-turn. Decides, though, to go out to Diancie to take it, but of course this is just another free switch into Donphan, so he actually decides to go into Skarmory instead, which was kind of surprising. Goes into Slowking, thinking this is the best thing to take it, as Skarmory reveals it is the SD set. And at this point, Jack doesn't really have too much of this. He has
What do you mean set? There's no set for this.
Yep, it's definitely a set. As he Mementos with Dugtrio. And hoping that Venusaur can live it. Venusaur is not going to live the Brave Bird. God knows why Frank did that. Then Diancie's going to come in and is going to die to the Iron Head. Jack just rolling through with a physical Skarmory to blow Frank away. That now cements basically that Jack is going to finish top with Adam, basically. I think there's one more battle each for them, but I'm pretty sure I did settle it at that point. But yeah, that was a crazy battle. We're going to move on to the next one. Okay guys, so we had a few more issues finding videos. So basically we're going to finish off this one by combining round 10 with round 11 to give you like the final rounds of play that were actually done. There were a few more buys, a few people unable to battle, like my battle against Matt. So we have just 3 more battles for you. Jack also had a bye, which means that Adam's battle coming up, he needs to win it to be able to get tied first. But first off, we're going to go with John against Aiden. And since Adam's battle is important, I wanted him to commentate it. I'm going to commentate this one. So Sylveon's going to lead off against Umbreon. Not really the best matchup for Umbreon to be in. Sylveon reveals such as a U-turn, so it's definitely just a Zoroark right there.
It's so silly seeing Sylveon do that.
And then he goes out to the real Sylveon. Doubles into Ultron to absolutely eat that Hyper Voice, get all his health back. Goes to the Protect here as Melodic's just going to go for the Scald. Then fires off an Ice Beam, hoping for the Freeze, doesn't get it. Sylveon just decides to Wish, doesn't need to risk anything. Goes for the Scald, does nothing. Hyper Voice is doing a decent amount though, which is unfortunate for Aiden, who doesn't seem to be running the Miracle this time around. Gets the burn, but we're pretty confident that this is going to be, Heal Bell Sylveon. Decides to Miracle and reveal
it. Does reveal Miracle.
But unfortunately, it's going to do jack shit in this battle. So, ends up going for another Hyper Voice. As Melodic goes for the Ice Beam, goes for the Recover. As Sylveon can just Wish. I mean, this is the turn that you'd expect Miracle, and that's what he does go for. So Sylveon can just Protect. And basically, these first few turns are just going to be a massive stall fest. I think really now what Aiden's hoping for is the turn where he gets the burn, he can switch out capitalizing, but instead he decides to go out to Hitmontop. At that point, if Aiden had freaking competitive on Melodic, shit would have got real. But for some reason, he decided not to run it. Goes out to his Swampert here, as I believe is just a regular run-of-the-mill Swampert. Gonna Toxic the Cofagrigus there, as Cofagrigus is then gonna fire off a Willow. So, you know, that's great, I guess. But out comes Dumbreon, which can't really do much to Cofagrigus, so I don't know why it was switched in here. Fearing the foul play, is going to go back out to Sylveon, but Dumbreon decides to go for Protect, which made no sense. Like, what were you expecting to hit you?
Traded off Mother and Cragnall.
Yeah, I don't know. Anyway.
Dude, look how silly Sylveon's look at the layout.
Yep, double Sylveon, man. It's powerful. He's going to go back out to Ultron, which isn't really doing too well at this stage, because now it's Poison. But he's only standard Poison, which means he gets his Marvel Scale boost, and is only weakened by 12% every single turn. Again, like I'm saying, if he was competitive, that would have been freaking amazing, but it gets the burn, nails the burn on the Hitmontop, which is just what he needed at that stage. Knowing the Hitmontop's probably going to want to go for a Rapid Spin, decides to go for a Facade instead, and that's kind of huge, because now Hitmontop is going to go down to burn, meaning those rocks are there to stay. So Dragonite's going to come in. At this stage, he's hoping Dragonite can get the job done. Unfortunately, Melodic is faster, and is able to kill that thing with the Ice Beam. Apparently he's running just enough speed as well. Goes into Armaldo, probably going to go for the spin against the Zoroark here. But he goes back into Cofagrigus as he ends up firing off an X-Scissor instead. Gets a crit there, and it still did absolutely nothing. Red card out to Umbreon. At this point, this poison isn't really too bad, as the foul play is going to do absolutely nothing. And then he's going to go for the Willow for no apparent reason. I don't know if he's expecting like the Heal Bell or the switch there. I don't know what Cofagrigus was up to. Foul play is going to do enough now, though, to take out Cofagrigus. And it leaves him with Sylveon, Tyranitar, and Zoroark. So he's going to go into his Tyranitar, set up the Sandstorm, hoping to Mega Evolve, get up the D-Dance, and win. Instead, decides to go for the EQ and crit. I mean, that would be the turn, honestly, where I would have gone for the D-Dance. But now you could even go for one. Because he's going to double into his Landorus, as now Tita is going to go for that Dragon Dance. Fire off the Ice Punch and kill the Lando. Although the
Aiden's Lando has died like every game.
Yeah, I think it's now in freaking Ubers, and Aiden never really used it. I don't know. I don't know what to tell you guys. Anyway, Tita is going to D-Dance again because he knows he can live another hit from Swampert. Gets Toxic though, so that was a really nice play from Aiden, taking advantage of the situation. And now Tita is going to try and go for a little sweep here if he can, but the problem is the Toxic damage isn't going to help, plus Umbreon can Protect, but Umbreon predicts him to not want to go for the Protect. Ends up getting off the Wish, and then killing itself, so he can go back into Armaldo, hopefully eat up this Ice Punch. Unfortunately, he doesn't, but Tita is now going to go down, and it's effectively Sylveon against Altaria here, because like if Altaria can beat Sylveon, then it can win. But it turns out to actually be the Zoroark. So Zoroark's going to go down, and at this point now, though, Sylveon just needs to fire off a Hyper Voice to kill this thing. He's got a chance, but Aiden reveals the Iron Tail. And bear in mind, this is an Iron Tail that was initially at 75% accuracy, but has been lowered again because of Night Days. So for him to hit it on that turn was crucial, because if he didn't, the Melodic was severely weakened and poisoned, and so Sylveon might have been able to stall it out at the end to win. So that was kind of big for Aiden right there, hitting that Iron pardon me, sorry. Jeez. Hitting that Iron Tail was pretty huge. So we're going to move on to now probably the biggest match of these final few rounds. Hope you enjoy.
Alright.
Alright, guys, we are here with like the big final match of the GBA. There's one actually after this, which is kind of just like filler, but this was like the big one because Jack was sitting on top right now. Adam was just one win behind, so if Adam won this battle, he would draw with Jack in first place. So this was kind of crucial. It was Adam up against Tom with the Arizona Rattatails. Tom hasn't been doing the best in this tournament, but we have seen him pull off some amazing victories. So there was all the hope in the world that maybe Tom could get the result. I mean, at this stage, I basically wrapped up third place too, so this was the battle for first. And so Adam needs to win. So Adam, you are taking this commentary, friend. You can start in 3, 2, 1.
So, Electros is here versus the Dino. He Volt switches. I am Assault vested, so that's not going to do jack shit. Now, I am a physical Electros for the Polytoad because most Polytoads are special. He will poison me. I'm going to go for the Wild Charge and knock him out. If I was Thunderbolt, it had a roll to knock him out. So he goes out into the Amistar and fires off the Surf, like I said, and I mixed. So I go for the Giga Drain to get all of my health back. So I am looking pretty good here. So the Surf will take me out. However, I still have the Bullet Punch on the Scizor. So I Bullet Punch. It knocks out the big threat known as Amistar. I believe I'm banded, so I will go out into the Sableye as he reveals the counter, which was cool. So he goes into the Shit Flake as I taunt him. He goes back into Sand Slash as I recover. No big deal. Wasted turn. So he knocks off, which isn't going to do jack, and I get the burn off. So the Sand Slash is now neutered. So I'm just going to taunt him, and Sand Slash is having a bad day. So I'm going to fire off the knockoff. It does a ton to this thing. I'm not going to take a Thunderbolt, but I know who can. As he predicts that nicely, Focus Blast, but of course, it doesn't mean anything to Porygon 2. So he's going to go out to the Sand Slash, predicting the Toxic. Nice play by Tom. I don't want to get knocked off, so I'm going back into Sableye, as it does absolutely horse shit. So he's going to double into the beautiful Snowflake, as I'm just going to fire off a knockoff here. He's trying to do a fast one with the Substitute. So I'm tired of this. He goes for the Acid Armor, which was kind of cool. Knockoff still does 25%. So as long as that I was in that range, I would be able to break his sub. I don't want to risk any rolls, so I go out in the Scizor. And Bullet Punch still does about 200%. So I'm just going to fire off the Bullet Punch. Crit on the Sand Slash. Really didn't matter. Out to Dino. Bullet Punch, even though it's resisted, no match. Out to Chansey. I'm going to double back into Virizion, my beautiful mixed Virizion, as I'm going to fire off a couple close combats and win the game.
So that's going to do it, guys. Adam coming through to get equal first with Jack at the end of this, and I'm going to pick up third place at the end of all this. So your boys finished pretty high. I think there's one more battle. So we're just going to finish with that battle, and then we will do the wrap-up. Okay, guys, I say a lot of things. We might not do the wrap-up, guys. We're not sure.
We might do like a 5-minute wrap-up at the end of this one if you want.
Yeah, if we're feeling it. Alright, so the final match of the GBA was Will of the Relatively Superiors up against Charles of the Jubilife Jumpluffs. Really just for pride here, not for placings. They were both pretty established in the middle of the table. I'm going to take this final one. Let's go. Final battle. So Infernape leads off against the Krook. Could just go straight for the close combat. Decides to be cheeky and go for the fake out. Revealing this is probably a Scarfed Krook. But Infernape can eat that. Goes to the rocks to be cheeky. Goes to the Mark Punch, which is not the play. Probably could have gone for close combat instead to kill Krook. Would have been a better play at that point. But unfortunately doesn't happen. Yeah, he's Scarfed Krook. Would have been better. I mean, goes to the U-turn here, predicting Rhyperior, which is a nice play. Can go out to Bro, which can probably eat up the Mega Horn pretty well. Knowing that he doubles into Togekiss, which is a pretty solid play, but Scold's still going to do a decent amount. Doesn't pick up the burn, though. As he predicts, I guess, the T-Wave or the Air Slash and goes out to Zap, which is a good switch in. Krook's going to come in as he predicts the T-Bolt really easily there. Stone Edge is going to connect and do a decent chunk to Zapdos. But Zapdos can just roost basically all the damage he's taken right back up. Goes out to Bro. who can absolutely swallow those stone edges. Does not get the... he gets an alright prediction there, knowing he's going to switch, but I mean, Psyshock there would have been huge on Togekiss. Fires off the Psyshock now, as Togekiss is going to go for its own Thunder Wave. And at this point, he's just hoping for a fully powered Togekiss. That doesn't happen, as instead he's going to get Flinch Hacks there. He's hoping really that Togekiss can actually get fully powered. Still doesn't happen. It's a 50-50 chance, so by now it should have happened, but it hasn't. He does decide to go out to Zapdos on the turn when Togekiss does get paralyzed. So there's Murphy's Law for you people. T-Bolts again, knowing there's 2 freaking ground types over there. Still decides to T-Bolt.
There's 3 ground types.
Still decides to T-Bolt for some reason. Out comes Bro again, which can't really do too much. Goes out to Togekiss again, and the Scald will connect, won't kill, which is so frustrating for Will. Goes out to Honchkrow, which is a really aggressive play that he didn't need to make because that's way too much damage for Honchkrow to take. Goes for the Roost, though, which is a really smart play there. Predicting Togekiss to want to switch.
Play.
Gliscor goes for Agility. Honchkrow gets up the sub, which was pretty cool. Gliscor's then going to Sword Stance. Honchkrow is going to fire off a BB, which is going to bring Gliscor down the range where he's probably going to have to go for the Baton Pass, as he's going to go out to Rhyperior, as the Brave Bird is not even going to scratch this thing. And this is where I think Will realize he's made a horrible, horrible mistake, as he's going to go for the Sucker Punch. Does a clean 30%, but the Stone Edge is going to connect. If he had Rock Blast then, could have possibly been even more GG. Going to fire off a Sucker Punch again, but fails as Rhyperior goes for Rocks, as he's going to try and stall out or just get Lefty's recovery here. Honchkrow is going to fire off the sub as Rhyperior misses the Stone Edge. That was pretty lucky on Will's part, but it works out for him pretty well. Fires off the Sucker Punch. EQ's predicting him to Roost. It doesn't happen. So Honchkrow is going to Sucker Punch again. I swear, if Honchkrow had the freaking superpower, he would have gone for it by now, surely. I don't know. As Honchkrow is now going to go for Roost, because he is still faster. Stone Edge is still going to kill, because that's a fucking Rhyperior.
I would have just Sucker Punched.
Now in comes Darmanitan, which does outspeed, can fire off a superpower, and that Rhyperior is finally gone. Charizard comes in. Darmanitan can't deal with that, so he's going to go into Zapdos, hoping that it's Zard X. Reveals that it's Zard, gets overhitted, but lives. That was crazy. I can't believe he live. Turns out to be a fast Zapdos as well. Gets off the Defog. Then he's running Overheat and Flare Blitz. Mixed frickin' Zard. In comes Pinsir. Zard gets spooked, so he goes out to Togekiss. If Pinsir had just gone for Quick Attack, then he would have got a Moxie kill, which would have been cool. But at this point, he gets so greedy. He went for the second SD. Could have just killed that thing. Decided not to. That was kind of stupid. And at this point now, he has like nothing for Zard or Kieran Black. Like Kieran Black just comes in, sets up the sub, and now it's over.
And that's
the game. Because Kieran Black can now just fire off Fusion Bolts to his heart's content. It's an easy 2-hit KO on this Slowbro. Although he can break the sub every time, now Kieran Black's going to be able to kill him with another Fusion Bolt. And that means that all that's left is Darmanitan, which can't really touch Scarfed Krook unless it's Scarfed itself, so he's going to have to Scarf himself into Superpower. Goes into Gliscor, ends up locking himself in a Stone Edge, which I guess is okay, but it means he probably can't beat Crocodile.
I would have just Flare Blitz, to be honest.
Yeah, can't really beat Crocodile at this stage, as Stone Edge is not going to be able to do enough even with a crit, and Krook can fire off the EQ. If Krook was weakened a bit more, maybe he had a chance, but that is going to be the final battle of this first season of the GBA. So basically, to wrap it up for you guys, in first place we had a tie between Adam and Jack, and then in third place behind them was myself, and then behind that was like Frank, I think Aiden. It was a whole big group, and then pulling up the rear was I think Tom, Will, and John.
Charles
so
and Aiden.
It was pretty well spread out, guys. We thank you for joining us for this inaugural tournament. We're going to make it a lot better, a lot snazzier the next... Oh my god, I'm going to kill my dog. But we're going to make it a lot snazzier, a lot better the next time around. We hope you guys enjoy that. If you enjoyed these recap series, make sure that you like them. You check them all out. Make sure you subscribe to... Hello?
What?
What did you say?
I just said comment on the video.
Oh, yeah.
Comment
on the videos, let us know what you guys think. Check out our channels as well, because we'll be doing our reviews of like our GBA matches and whatnot. And we hope to see you guys in the future. Anyway, guys, it's Bazooka39 and Adam the Bee's Knees signing out.